Alright, welcome back to How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, Anime Review Episode 13. Yep, with this one we're talking about the finale for Season 2, Omega, Pretend God. From what I can tell, they adapt most of the rest of book number 6. There's a bit of the epilogue they don't bring up here. Yeah, there's a whole side story here they don't bring up at the end of the episode. I will get to that. Don't worry about that. Yes. Yeah, for some reason, they don't really adapt the proper epilogue for the story. I think they went to the interlude, and that's it. Yeah, there's nothing about... I don't think the epilogue was adapted for this one. Mostly put with this one, pick up exactly where we left off here, with basically Diablo taking on the god of destruction, Europa. And he's doing his best to take it on. Of course, he basically helps Lamarckina go to, protect her a lot of the time. And ask her, can you cast a spell? And she says, yes, give it some time. So basically, he buys some time. I'll take on the particular creature. And then, thanks also to the prayers of the believers, she's able to basically muster up enough of the prayer, thanks to a blinding light. Yes, and Diablo's doing his best against this thing. And of course, Rose chips in. She gets her arm blown off. And of course, she mentions later on she does have self-repair stuff. So, don't need to worry about that. So, pretty much, right after that. And then, then we had the blinding light thing. You're probably thinking, man, this seems like basically almost like a Deus Ex Machina. But, yeah, they kind of built this up a little bit. And then, of course, well, they take care of the Demon Lord. Not Demon Lord. They, after the spell basically taken care of. And then Diablo Diablo knew exactly what this creature was just by describing it. And he's like, how did you know that? And he's like, I'm a Demon Lord from another world. And of course he mentions, yeah, this is a limited time event, basically. He's playing crossover. So he basically, after it's been depowered, he pretty much just eviscerates the creature with 2 spears. Using a spear of light, a spear of darkness, combined to the annihilation spear with his magic, and pretty much he eviscerates the damn thing. And then after the creature is destroyed, even though, yes, they took care of one of the big problems with the church, they're not exactly done yet, per se. Yeah, so Lamarckina reveals this by fact they did take care of the head paladin, and they took care of the head cardinal and some of the remaining cardinals. They also mentioned that Valos' men were killed by the transvestite from the start of the season. Yeah, he comes back for this one episode. He's not the only one. So Ren basically finds him. He's already killed Valos' men. He says, oh yeah, I have another employer. So basically he told me to kill these guys. They don't mention who it is. And then gives her a key to something. Teresa, Trish, I think her name is, and then after, then Ram and Lamarckina open up the cell, and it's the bodyguard from the start of the season, the one who was alive and well. When in the world she was brought here, don't know. She's not been seen since the start of the season, but there she is, and she also is bandaged up because of the wound she suffered. So basically, they hurriedly bandaged up her breast. Yeah, they bandaged her breast, limb of her arms. Basically, she kept as a prisoner. Why? Because she's Lamarckina's bodyguard. Yep. Yeah, the head paladin was taken care of first. She was taken care of for book 4. That's better. Actually, it's more like book 5. And then pretty much, with that taken care of, they go back to, I think it's supposed to be Lamarckina's mansion. Actually, it's more like Alicia's mansion. So mentioned, of course, she asked Diablo to become the head paladin, and he's like, no, that's not a job for me, I'll pass. And they go, okay, basically told you a god. What if I told you I was not a god? Yeah, she's been proclaiming this since the start of the season, and, well, she believes him, because he's not technically a god, but basically an ally. Later on in the books, basically, Lamarckina proclaimed God's avatar. Yeah, that's pretty much what they proclaimed him. And then, of course, well, they mentioned, oh yeah, Rose is sleeping, despite the fact she's got a ripped off arm. And then pretty much like Horn, it's later the Horn decided to stay in the capital to learn magic, and Alicia is going to be her strict teacher. And she's not exactly looking forward to that, but don't worry. Though, from what I know, she has come back in like book 9. So, then of course, then they go home, and of course, well, they protected the city, footing the bill for the little demon lord and the fallen who was protecting her. Oh yeah, she first is fallen as Oni-sama, which is probably like a mother. Like, okay. So, does that mean that the protector of the city has adopted these two? Apparently. I get the reason why the fallen is there. Protect the little demon lord. I mean, well, she doesn't have a problem with it at all. So they come back, and of course they go back to the inn. Of course, you don't see, and of course it's also that Emil is doing paperwork. Yep, we see the guild lead, and basically like a lot of like wrapping up here, but not exactly the epilogue. I would think so, because there's something interesting that happens in the book. I'll get to that. So then pretty much we have Diablo, Rem, Shira, and now Rose go back to pretty much what they're doing at the start of the season, doing magical experimentation, and also mentioning about a ring. Now, I should also mention in the book, this is when Shira finds out that her father has passed away, and she has to go back to her country. My guess is the reason why I decided to include it, because they're probably thinking this season might not be as well as good as, let's say, the first season per se, but it all depends on exactly when in the world that the season will come back. I'm praying to God it does not take 3 years again. I hope to God no. That would be kind of dumb. The fact that if it would take 3 years for this series to come back. I mean, I did watch the first season of the show last year, so I knew the show was going to come back this year, and I was not disappointed. I thought this was a pretty good season. They may have cut a little bit. I thought it was quite odd for the episode that was Little Demon Lord. I think it was like episode 18. I was a bit surprised they decided to basically adapt a segment from book 8 for the season. I thought that was kind of weird. Not really sure why, but they did. So, what I'm hoping for season, well, I was hoping the season might last a little bit longer than like a dozen episodes. It didn't last that long. It lasted 10 episodes. But from what I could tell, they kept a lot of the story in. At least got praise them for that. Though I kind of thought that they should have included a setup for potential for season 3. Maybe they think there probably would be a season 3. It's kind of similar to what happened with of course ReZero, where they included they basically cut out a segment that could have had potential for season 3, but who knows? Yep. So yeah, that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my next view, which will be 7 Deadly Sins. Okay, to the next video. Bye.